was like having a small family which I saw regularly. Now I think it's like an extended family which I don't see as regularly, so the relationships are a bit different. It was narrower, it's much broader now. The business has changed rapidly. We're now not just hospitals, we're now education and mechanical engineering, all sorts of different fields.
Do you miss those days?
Yeah, in some ways, but then I miss days of my early working life when I worked at my previous company. So I do in some respects, but there's a lot of positives to the current days, and we've evolved, so you adapt.
Dare I say at the beginning was an interesting one, because coming from a council background, although I was more on the private side, there was very much a case of who are these people, what are they going to do to us? I think the changes are you're not caught up with the restrictions that a borough sets upon itself. Obviously you need to prove a case and you need to demonstrate that something will work, but there is the opportunity there. Ecovair is very good at looking at the potentials and taking advantage of them if they can.
It was fun, it was busy, it was enjoyable, it was a buzz. It's more professional now, without a doubt.
What is it that keeps Ecovair winning?
I think definitely it's people management skills, without a doubt, because people are loyal to the company. So they want to achieve just as much as the financial people want to win the contracts.
I started off as the office junior, so I was filing basically. There's always been a good team, and you know, there's nobody that you can't go to if you need to. I was very young when I started, I was only 17. I'm just comfortable with the people that I work with.
95, I transferred into the business.
From where?
I work for the council here in Brighton. I think the thing that particularly strikes me is the can-do mentality, wanting to work with their clients on a long-term partnership basis. These are the things that they bring, and really trying to work through their staff to enhance the services that they provide and enhance the staff experience as they go. I think the thing that I hold probably dearest is the fact that there's still a sizable number of people that were there at the start who are still friends today, who work for the group today, and you know, we are colleagues for all that time.
I was part of the original group that transferred from Brighton to what was then Ecovair South. So, an interesting time. I think it was a combination of sort of slight fear because we didn't really know what to expect, and also excitement because the transfer had been coming for a long time, and I think at the end people just wanted to make the change, but they were a bit nervous about what that change was going to be. And as part of the process, the council had moved us to a waste transfer station on the outskirts of Brighton, so we were sort of living in temporary offices over a skip, for want of a better word. And when we first were transferred to the Bouygues group, Olivier Bouygues came over from France to visit us. And for his visit, we had to scrub up all the most presentable refuse collectors and street cleaners to form a guard of honour over the ramp, over the skip, to come up to our offices. And I speak a little French, and I think I lip-read his words as he said "merde" as he came up the ramp.
I actually started at the hospital as an apprentice when I was 16. I've actually been there for quite a few years, 33 years nearly. And when Ecovair actually took over the PFI and took over the contract, at the time it seemed quite a severe thing, but you know, in hindsight, it's actually been quite a step forward for me and for, I think, most of my other colleagues. And now we've got a state-of-the-art hospital that's beautiful for the patients and clients, and it's nice to work in. We don't get wet walking around all the different sites to do all the jobs. It's all under one roof, and it's quite an improvement.
I was based at the Royal Pavilion when Ecovair actually took over. I was catering manager as a unit manager at the Royal Pavilion.
And what do you do now?
I'm service manager at the Cabinet Office.
So your job's changed quite a bit?
It has, yes. It's more varied now. It's a very people, staff orientated. They like to see lots of progression within the company, and obviously the people that were actually there to serve.
When I first started at the water companies, I was looking after their payroll department and their HR department. That was a much smaller organisation, something like 200, 250 employees. There was a canteen at Hollingbury where all the refuse collectors used to go for their lunch, and the language was quite rife in those days. And I remember sitting there, and we had a union rep called Mark Turner, and Mark stood up in the middle of the canteen and shouted, "Quiet everyone, there's a lady present." And I had to look around at the time to think, where was she? But it was me, so.
I joined in 1995.
What did you join the group as?
As a horticultural manager. There were difficulties to begin with, but once they'd overcome the difficulties, things got better. If there's one thing I would say about Eckleberg in all the time that I've been with them, it's that they have never let me down once, not once. I'm pleased to be able to say it.